To start with, I've been designated the director for the Petchey Center for Entrepreneurship, which is a new center generously funded by Jack Petchey Foundation with some money from the Higher Education Funding Council, London Development Agency, the boroughs, if you like what we call our catchment boroughs, and with very active support of our university. And if you want me to talk a little bit more about the Petchey Center for Entrepreneurship, there are, in fact, three key strands to the PCE, as we call it for short. One strand will be issues related to curriculum development. That's teaching entrepreneurship, mainstreaming entrepreneurship right across undergraduate and postgraduate programs within UEL, which is number one, very important to us, so that we want to make our graduates work ready. Work readiness for us is now a form of branding. We realize that many of our students are, like yourself, going to go out there, ex-student, you become a very successful entrepreneur yourself, running your own company, which I think now runs into millions of pounds. So we want to have many more people like yourself who are going to go out there and not looking for public sector jobs that are no longer available. People who are going to stride out on their own, discover, redefine the mundane, be achievement-oriented, and succeed more for themselves and for the good of the society and community as a whole. So that is actually the thrust of our entrepreneurship program by way of curriculum development, teaching, and learning. The second strand will relate to issues around business development, the diagnostics, the hand-holding, the brokerage, so that those who are at the very first step or taking the very first step in starting out their business will know that somebody's got their back, as Americans will say. We're there to provide what support is needed, advice, intervention, signposting, and so on and so forth, so that they can bring alive those ideas that actually motivated them to become entrepreneurs in the first instance. Then the third strand to that will be the research. We realized that we couldn't possibly have a very strong center without strong, sustainable intellectual underpinning. So our research, again, mirrors my own personal, if you like, idiosyncratic disposition. That research has to have meaning to the community, to the environment. It has to have meaning to the lives of ordinary people. And in that sort of circumstance, we are looking to capture issues relating to everydayness of entrepreneurship amongst people. What makes them tick, what motivates them, what are the failure crises they suffer, what sort of intervention works or will work better, how does their particular dispositions such as culture, sociological environment, and so on and so forth impact their entrepreneurship, entrepreneurial motivation, and entrepreneurial learning. Here we're looking at the role of entrepreneurship in regeneration, faith and entrepreneurship, kind of religiosity. Does it play a part? Of course, we realize that East London is a very densely multicultural with so many faith organizations. We want to see how all of these gel together in order to create entrepreneurial identity of people of East London. And in addition also, we're also looking at the diaspora links. People, East London is a very international in outlook. Many of our students have come from all corners of the world, basically. We want to see the kind of transnationalism that goes on in terms of how what they have learned here may have helped them to establish businesses in their home countries, and the linkages they have made between London and their far-flung countries, wherever they're coming from, and so on and so forth. So there is a great deal of international dimension to our research in entrepreneurship as well. So just kind of one of my hearts at the Petchey Center for Entrepreneurship.